Good afternoon. My name is Dylan Morris, and today I'm going to show you how to properly, well, semi-properly, I'm not that great, load, unload, clean, shoot a muzzleloader. So we have here a Thompson center Hawken styled 50 caliber muzzleloader. Nice and pretty. There's a couple scratches. I just got this gun from a buddy. Okay, we've got here bullhorn full of powder. We've got our measure. I've got it set to 30 grains. We've got patches, our shooting patches. Got our balls. I don't shoot minis or maxis. I try to stay traditional. Starter. This is not obviously the ramrod that came with it. This is, but the one that came with it, you know, it's pretty. It's not old, but it's wooden, and I don't want to break it. So I had somebody make me this one. Got your caps. Then I've got some cleaning patches and some cleaning solvent. This is water-based, so you have to be very, very meticulous with it. But it's cheap, and I'm a pretty cheap dude. So I'm going to show you how to load and unload. Well, mostly load. Unloading's easy. Pull the trigger, man. Okay, so set you guys up here. How do I want to do this? Grab a log from the wood stack. Sorry that I've been spitting everybody, but got major loogies. I'm gonna assume that right there, we'll go like this. That might be better. Oh, low power mode. Close. Okay, so take your gun. Now I have a rubber stopper on here that I'm going to remove real fast. Set that over there. Alright, so take your gun, set it up, then you take your powder horn. This is a pre-measured amount. So you're going to dump powder in. Ooh. It's a little much, but that's just fine. You swing your funnel over and it knocks off all that excess stuff. I'm shooting triple F powder made by GoX. But then you dip it in and tap it around a couple of times. Set it back. Now you need your pouches. Take out a pouch. Three. Take a ball. You gotta try and make sure that you center your pouch as best you can, because this is a 50 caliber rifle, but the balls are actually .49, and then this takes up the rest of the space, makes it a nice tight fit, right? So we slammed our powder down, got our shot, our ball, I guess, and our patch. Then we take, and on this, it's round. It's got this little knob right there. We set, and we just till it sinks. Then we take the longer piece, obviously, and we shove it down in. Then we take our massive rod, and now we can use these old wood ones, and when we throw them down, if it bounces, it means your ball's seated, right? So there, it bounced. Ball is properly seated. So we've got powder, patch, and ball. Now we need something to ignite it with, so we come back up here. We pull a hammer back. Got a nipple right there, right underneath my finger. Hopefully you guys can see that. And this thing's pretty cool. You just shake it until you get one up there. You push this forward. Got a cap. Put the cap on the nipple, pull this off, set it down, and we are ready to fire. Now I'm not really shooting at anything, which some of you are like, well, you should have a target, all that. Yeah, but these things are just fun to shoot. So this is a double trigger. And what that means is this is a set trigger. So I pull this and it makes this a hair trigger. Or I can pull really hard on this one and it'll shoot. I'll do both. I'm going to set my trigger first today though. So pull this second trigger. And then go to the first trigger and you're ready to fire. Just like that. Obviously it's a black powder, so lots of smoke. So then we're going to clean it. I'm going to take my rubber stopper, get my old cap off, rubber stopper back on. Alright, so we're going to take our cleaning patches. Now just because I don't feel like going and cutting my own, I bought some. All they are is cotton. These are 2x2 sets of cotton. 225 of them. Therefore, they can use for a 30 cal, a 308, 30-06, 330, or 30-30. I mean, my bad. Those are all rifles. It can be used for a 357, a 9mm, a 38, a 40, or a 10 mil, or a 45 caliber for pistols, and then only for a 50 caliber muzzleloader. Now, Thompson Center makes a whole bunch. There's 54s, there's 38s, there's 34s. There's a whole bunch. 50 cal is kind of just a classic, you would call it. So I'm going to do a super clean. Usually all I would do until I got it back inside, which my house is right here and it's beautiful, is just take a patch, ram it down there, pull it out, turn it around, ram it down again, and I would call it good to launch another round. But for the sake of this video, gonna show you how to use this. So I have, none of these are sponsors. I have Clean Bore Hydro Clean muzzleloader solvent. It's $1.89 for 2 fluid ounces, so 95 cents an ounce roughly, I think. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our patch here and we are going to very liberally soak this with my Hydro Clean. All right, it's water based, so that's cool. Take our ramrod and just shove that patch down there. We're gonna run it up and down a couple of times. Now, whether or not you believe me, this was a completely clean gun. I was getting white patches, even with the solvent running out of it. And from one shot, this is what it looks like. Okay, so take that off. I think I'm going to run another one down there just for shits and giggles. Grins and giggles, I mean, shoot. If you were doing this like super high maintenance, you'd run soaked patches until you weren't getting any powder anymore. I'm not gonna do that today because I just fired, so the powder's pretty moist in there still, I guess you would call it. Not moist, I hate that word, but it's not stuck to the inside of my barrel. See how easily this just runs up and down? Usually, if it was dirty, I would not be able to do this. It would go down stuck and I'd have to slowly pull it up. Alright, see, even after 2 swabs, the black is already turning gray, so I'm going to run my dry swabs down there. Now, you want to make sure, running your dry swabs, that you go until there's no more moisture coming out, because this is water-based, and you don't want the inside of your barrel to rust. So, dry swab. See, my dry swab is picking up all of that. That's pretty neat. It's moist. I hate that word and I say it all the time. So we'll grab some more patches out. Can you guys see me? Not really. Okay. Granted, I'm filming from an iPhone. I don't have any sort of camera setup or GoPros. This is kind of the first video I've ever taken that I wanted to post anywhere, so. Alright, see? We're getting there, slowly getting cleaner. Still wet, there's still moisture there. When I do this dry, when I use no solvent or lube or anything like that, I don't use lube at all actually, but I'd flip the patches around, but because I'm trying to mostly just wick away moisture, I'm using one patch each time. Okay, so here we go. That is almost purely clean. And there's no moisture, so I'm gonna run 3 more patches down here real quick, one at a time obviously, and then shoot again. Now, this is a very basic way of doing this. You could also, when you're doing this at home, you're gonna clean the nipple. The nipple's where I put that firing cap. All right. All right, I'm gonna call that good. Ooh, got some dirt back here, that's not good. You also can buy at your local sports store just a brass cleaner, which I have. I'm not gonna show you how to do that today, obviously. I'm gonna shoot this one more time for you guys, then log off. I don't know if you guys really want another tutorial or another showing how, but I'll do it anyway. So, pre-measured. This thing goes all the way up to 120 grains, and I think just for fun, actually, I'm going to push to 120 grains and see what it does. Probably not supposed to. Yeah. It's probably not great for your gun there to let it slide. Alright, so that was 120 grains. That's 4 times what I just shot for you guys. So swing your funnel around, and then, oh, fudge monkeys. Well, that's a mess. We'll just move that out of the way for a second. Don't ever try to use smokeless powders that are for normal guns. Go with black powder, or there's one called, that I know of, a smokeless powder that is safe for black powder. It's called Pyrodex. I'm told that you can use that stuff. I don't. I'm not saying that I'm a traditional. I just started, but I don't use that stuff usually. Okay, so be a bit more careful here because this stuff is kind of expensive. I mean, it's not super expensive for anybody who has a job, but if you don't have a job, it can be expensive. Okay, so that's 120 grains. Patch, ball, starter, ramrod. So I don't know if you can see this, but I have a notch right here. That is 2-3 inches. Usually it's only about an inch, so that's how much more powder is in there. There's 3 times the volume amount. So then we'll take this one. Ooh, that really bounces. All right. Kind of nervous. Cock your hammer. Off with your rubber stopper. Put a cap on. All right. Let's give her a rip, shall we? I said I'd do the heavy trigger. I don't like it, so I'm just gonna set. Fuck. Oh. Did you see how much more that was? This is almost like I put 3 times the powder, and that was cool. Alright, but now it's going to be a pain in the butt to clean, I bet. Rubber stopper. Alright. Deuces.